Welcome to a peep into civil and industrial engineering. A little bit about us. We are all engineering students here at West Virginia University who are majoring in either industrial or civil engineering. Today, we will use some industrial and civil engineering principles to help you create your own Peep House. Before we begin, does anyone here know what an industrial or civil engineer does? What is industrial and civil engineering? Industrial engineers want to improve a job and make it better. Have you ever figured out how to do a chore such as cleaning your room or picking up your toys faster? If so, you were thinking like an industrial engineer. Civil engineers make and design things like bridges, roads, and buildings. Have you ever used Legos or blocks to make something? If so, you were thinking like a civil engineer. Have you ever been to the mall? Have you ever been to the doctor? What about going to school? All of these buildings were built by industrial and civil engineers. Real-world examples: the brand new WVU Children's Hospital being built, the building of new roads and bridges, inspecting the new River Gorge Bridge, the construction of new railroads such as Amtrak, and a runway design at an airport. Can you name some examples of what an engineer might build? So, how do they do it? An engineer must first analyze if the area is suitable for new construction. There are many factors that go into building a new structure or a bridge. Can you think of any of these factors? You guessed it. Some important factors that must be considered are money. Is there enough money to build your structure? The landscape. Is there a huge mountain right in the middle of your new road plan? And location. Is there enough room for your new building or road? These are all really important factors to consider. Time to build a house. Some peeps need a new place to live, and it's up to you to build a new marshmallow house for them. You will need to build the house and then figure out if the house is safe enough for your peeps to live in. In order to build your peep house, you should have peeps, toothpicks, and jelly beans. Your goal is to build a house out of jelly beans and toothpicks that can stand up all on its own.
You're going to need some toothpicks, some peeps, and some jelly beans. First, you're going to want to take some of your toothpicks out. I started out with about 10 or 12 toothpicks. Next, you're going to want to open up your bag of jelly beans. And if you're using scissors, please be careful when opening up your bag. So you're going to want to take your toothpick and insert it into the side of your jelly bean. And then we're going to take another jelly bean and insert it into the other side of our toothpick. Then we're going to take our toothpick and insert it into our second jelly bean. And then we're just going to keep on repeating this process until we have a square base for our house. And please be careful when doing this so you don't stab yourself with any toothpicks. So after we complete the four sides, it's going to look something like this. And then we're going to take more toothpicks and insert them vertically into our jelly beans, like such. And then this will build the sides of our Peeps house. So after we've done this, we're going to take 4 more jelly beans and insert one on each of our toothpicks that is standing upright. So after we're done with that, our house is going to look something like this. Next, we're going to take our remaining toothpicks and insert them into the sides of our jelly beans and connect them to one another like such. So at this point, you might need to take out some more toothpicks. So we're just going to go around and insert them into the sides of our jelly beans to kind of make the top of our house more stable. So as you can see, I kind of ran out, so just make sure you keep your toothpicks close by. So after we're done with this step, your house is going to look kind of like a cube. The next step is we're going to try and build the roof of our Peeps house. So we're going to add our toothpicks in diagonally into the sides of our jelly beans. So look something like this. And then we're going to add a jelly bean at the top to kind of hold those two toothpicks together. They don't fall over. And then we're going to repeat this step on the other side of our house. So again, we're just adding our two toothpicks in diagonally and then adding a jelly bean at the top, kind of make sure our house stays together. And then we can add a toothpick in between these two triangles that we just made to kind of help further stabilize our house. So once we're done, it's going to look something like this, and then you can add your peeps in the middle to complete your Peeps house. So this is just a very basic design of a Peeps house, but you can make your house as big and as creative as you would like for it to be.
What makes a house stand? There are many important factors an engineer must consider when building a house. Just like you've done, an engineer must make sure the walls of the house can withstand the force on all its members. An engineer must also make sure the house has all the supports to build the roof. This takes a lot of practice, but you are already headed in the right direction with your house. Does your house stand up? If your house is standing, congrats. You did a great job as a civil or industrial engineer. You were able to take your materials and turn them into a nice, sturdy house, much like engineers do every day. If your house is not standing, that is okay. A big part of engineering is learning from our mistakes. It is important that we never give up and keep trying again. Thanks for building Peep houses with us.